All right, welcome back to the channel, The Salty Vet. Going to talk just a little bit today about hypocrisy, and there's plenty of it to go around. Couple things right quick. I'm trying some new software out on the video today, so there'll actually be the intro that I worked fairly hard on. It might not be the most fancy thing or most sophisticated thing ever, but I think you'll like it. And also, there should be a video playing of a buddy of mine, his channel, Joe Photo with an F, Leo. He does drone flyovers, sometimes with music, sometimes quiet, but at heights that you wouldn't see any other place. So hopefully that's playing right there. All right. Hypocrisy. I want to talk about two instances of hypocrisy in our government. One already taking place and one about to take place. And it's kind of focused on the same individual, and that would be Amy Coney Barrett, which is Trump's new Supreme Court nominee to replace the deceased Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So, number one, the hypocrisy of the Republicans. And I'm not sure why we're shocked by this. We like to jump up and down and say, hey, that's not fair. That's not this. That's not, you said you weren't going to do this and you said that and blah, 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 blah. Politicians lie. And if you expect anything other than that, all of them, then you're simply not paying attention. So when Obama nominated Justice Merrick Garland, I believe he had about somewhere between 16 and 18 months before Election Day. Mitch McConnell, who had previously pledged to make Obama a one-term president, that was his goal, he said, refused to even give Merrick Garland a hearing, just outright refused. Said that it was too close to the election and, the incoming president should make that selection, whomever that might be. Turns out it was Donald Trump. Fast forward to tomorrow, Amy Coney Barrett, if I'm saying her name correctly, will have her day in court, no pun intended. They're going to nominate her with, I think we're about 38 days, probably about 35 or less by the time she's confirmed, and she's going to be confirmed. The Democrats can't stop it. They can stall. They can try to drag it out, but I don't even think they can drag it out until Election Day. I really don't see how they can do that. They simply don't have the votes. So the hypocrisy lies in the fact that this same person, Mitch McConnell, that would not give Merrick Garland even a hearing because he said it was too close to the election. Again, 16 to 18 months. I'm a little fuzzy on it. It was way more time than they have now. I know that. Now is going to push a nomination through, and it would be Trump's third nomination. Only Ronald Reagan has done that. In, again, 35 or so days, right? Which is not out of the realm of, it's not absurd, only in that it's hypocritical based on what he had done in the past. Judges have been pushed through in 40 days a couple of times throughout history, I think. So that leads me to the second upcoming hypocrisy, and it's by two different groups, right? Possibly same groups. And this group is the females, senators, and just overall Congress people, mainly females, who are going to absolutely rake this poor woman over the coals because of her political beliefs and her leaning and her political bent. So I have a problem with somebody who claims to be a feminist who was all about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, right? Ruth Bader Ginsburg did a ton for women's rights, a ton. She was a giant. Nobody's debating that. Her seat was filled by another woman, which I would think would make her happy, even though her dying plea was to wait until the election for her seat to be filled. It's a dying plea. It doesn't factor into political consideration. But I would like to think, based on what she had done for women, that she would be happy that another woman was taking her, the seat that she is vacant because of her passing, right? So when these congresswomen, and I'm going to focus on them because they're the ones that are going to do the damage. Because if a man attacks Miss Barrett, Mrs. Barrett, it's going to look like he's bullying her. When the women come out with their claws out, it is going to me, reek of hypocrisy. Because they, drug Kavanaugh through the mud. Whether or not he did what they said he did, I don't know. You shouldn't have to have led a perfect life to be a Supreme Court justice. None of us are perfect. So they did the same thing to Clarence Thomas. Nobody heard of Anita Hill until he's in line for this position, and then she pops up. This Ford lady, nobody knew who she was until Kavanaugh gets nominated for the Supreme Court. And then all of a sudden she wants to talk. So, I wonder how far they're going to dig into this woman's life to try to ruin her credibility, right? How far are you willing to go? I've already seen some senators tweeting that the fact that she has adopted 2 children from Haiti is somehow an issue. And that kind of makes me scratch my head. Like, you're really grasping at straws now, right? How dare you judge somebody for taking in in this case, child from Haiti and giving them a life that there's no way they would have had otherwise. How dare you? You should be ashamed of yourself if you're an elected official, or if you're just a civilian and you're saying that. Shame on you. You should be ashamed of yourself. Like, that's how bad you don't want a supposed conservative leaning judge. And she is conservative. She's Catholic. She's apparently in a wing of Catholicism that is super conservative. But don't do that. Just don't. It makes you look like you're grasping at straws. It makes you look just downright mean. Don't do it. The woman is obviously qualified. She's top of her class everywhere she's been. And she is qualified to serve on the Supreme Court of the United States. I don't know that anybody can debate that. That being said, that only leaves the personal life, which is usually what happens in these things. I don't ever hear anybody talking about their academia or their resume. They focus on personal slip-ups that happened 20 and 30 years ago when they were in college and just being a stupid kid. And they focus on voting record, right? So their big fears are the ACA, Obamacare, and Roe versus Wade, right? These are two laws that are on the books. They're going to be very hard to get rid of, right? So I think all the fear mongering just needs to stop. Both sides, but it's going to happen. Like the Democrats can't stop it. So all you can do is play the game and try to slow it down. She's going to get nominated, short of some miraculous thing happening where 2 more Republicans vote against her. Not probably going to happen. So if you hate hypocrisy, don't be a part of it. There's plenty of hypocrisy in Washington for all of us. Let them do it. Don't you get drug into it. All right? Love each other. Till next time, I'm out.